Sanibonani ukhulumayo uSinegugu akashabalala uhlala full crust. Sizopha ama good advices kuma matrix abhalayo.
People should stay positive. Banga give up and study hard. This is matric, guys, so you have to loosen up and study.
Mina ngakusho kubafundi ba matric ukuthi asesikhathi phelile bangadlali bayekela bangana babhedayo bafunde.
Matric ngathi unga concentrate ulalele futhi uyimisele kakhulu ngoba matric into enkulu kakhulu.
Manje isikhathi asisekho vele. So isikhathi la khona umuntu umela ayibona ukuthi ufunani empilweni
futhi ukufunda kuqala manje. Kuqala vele kuqaleni konyaka mangabe ungaqala ngikufunda ngiqala konyaka vele kodwa ke ungalahli ithemba.
Nami ngizothanda ukuthi abafunda umatric baqhubeke njalo bangangeneli idakamizwa baqhubeke njalo bafunde bazi ukuthi babuya kuphi.
Umatric kubalekile guys nobunanda pheli ubumnandi buhlezi bukhona baqhubeke nje nemfundo imfundo ibalekile.
Some great tips right there. And on that note, we want to say hello, Dumelang Sanbonani, South Africa. Welcome to Expressions. This is definitely the place for you to air your views. I'm your host, Jacqueline Mapala.
I'm your host, Umxolisi Masango. Sizagene Bkhoma from our headquarters in Auckland Park, Johannesburg. Now it's crunch time for the matric class of 2018. And the next several weeks, they will be glued to their books, writing their final exams. Now, our poll question this evening is: the matric class of 2018 ready to live up to the expectations?
It's a big question, and hopefully we'll be able to answer it by the end of the show, because the matric class of 2018 is facing its final hurdle with the National Senior Certificate exams that are kicking off today. I think they were writing English today, and the education watchdog Umalusi says it is confident that the matric exams will be conducted in a fair and credible manner. This year's examination will include new subjects such as sign language, civil technology, and technical sciences. This is a milestone indeed.
Yes, now the matriculants need all the support and encouragement. Now, see Expressions, we met up with a very courageous matriculant who has achieved against all odds. Now, Ostelo Guhle Wagomasondo was burnt as a toddler. Now, the wounds he sustained may be sensitive for some viewers. Godoge, his story is definitely one we all need to draw inspiration from. Take a look at this. Class of 2018, it's at this particular point in time that we bring you stories that will empower you and stories that will inspire you. Namhlanje, we in Full Crust, where we catch up with a very inspirational young man who's went through all the challenges from pretty much when he was still a toddler. As Expressions, we catch up with him today. What exactly happened?
I was 1 month in this very same location of Full Crust. When I got burnt by a candle, it fell onto the bed as I was the baby.
Now you are a young person, or you went through like my challenges growing up, from preschool to primary school and all your way up. Can you just tell us about some of those challenges as a burn survivor?
Other learners from the school calling the names like Wistrani, also known to, yeah. And then when I went to primary school, it got worse because other children couldn't learn class when I was around. So by that time now I had to go away from the class. So they took the decision that I had to stay home so that other learners could learn. From my side, it was a bit frustrating because I didn't have the chance to get that education that I wanted to get by that time. This experience made me see that in life we are bound to have challenges, and that no matter what happens within your life, you will overcome it. Plastic surgery.
Nokuthi ngoba ngiyambona esikoleni uyaqhubeka nokufunda akhona futhi ngokuthola usizo ukuthi aqhubekela phambili.
Abantu abasha bahlezi baphanika njalo, especially when it comes to his Katama exams. Are you panicking?
Mostly, yeah, 50%.
Yeah.
50%.
The other 50, what happened with the other 50?
The other 50 days, that nervousness of that exam that everyone's talking about, obviously. I wanted to do psychology at the University of Cape Town. Yeah, and the threat was for me in taking psychology. Psychology made me realize that I could help someone with the similar situation who's not physically and mentally stable to deal with that situation. But as I have passed through that situation, I would be able to give the exact advice that I gave myself.
A huge salute to Stelo, overcoming despite the odds. We're so proud of him. But to help me unpack this issue, I am joined in studio by Terence Kala, who is a Media Relations Officer from the Department of Basic Education. And I'm also joined by John Macheke, the National President of COSAS. Welcome, gentlemen.
Good evening.
Thank you so much for joining us. And of course, Umkolisi is manning our social media corner, bringing some of your insight and perspectives on the so important conversation that we're having in studio. But gentlemen, let's get straight into it. We know that the Matrics, and I think I'll start with you, John. I think we know the Matric 2018 wrote their first major paper today, English. I'm trying to imagine how I was feeling on this particular day. We want to get a sense of what's happening on the ground. Do you feel that they were prepared enough?
Yes, definitely learners are prepared to write their own examination. As we speak, they are camping in their own different high schools, studying very hard, making sure that they pass at the end of the year. We are very happy that we have teachers that tolerate us as learners in our own different schools. We have parents which are coming into our own schools checking us. We have different people, pastors, we have different people, business people in our own different communities that comes and guide us and help us and give us a proper support.
So this has been a collective effort, I think. It's a collective effort from all spans of our society. And I think I just want to ask you here, Terence, I mean, last year we saw provinces such as Eastern Cape and Limpopo struggling to get above 70% pass rate. And I just want to understand what measures, what programs have you put in place to see that improvement taking place?
Jackie, thank you very much for the opportunity. I think from the side of the department, what we've done is we've continued to ensure that we do summer and winter classes. We've continued to encourage schools to develop their own methods as well to ensure that learners don't only wait for the time that it's holidays and then they start doing intense learning. We make sure that learning and teaching takes place within the classroom, starting on time, and everybody's geared towards the task of ensuring that the curriculum and the syllabus is covered so that learners have the adequate time to then start doing revision and making sure that when they do go to the summer and winter classes, they don't go to catch up, they go there to extend on what they've learned and make sure that they build on their base of knowledge as well. I mean
you're talking about knowledge and usually that's the one thing that students right now are like, oh my gosh, I hope I've got enough knowledge. But then we also know that during this time, there's also a lot of scandals that come up, you know, obstacles to the success of the matriculants sort of, you know, standing in their way, if that's the right way to put it. I mean, we saw the last time in Limpopo, there were protests. We now know, Cape Town, you know, there was a school that was burnt and now students don't have, you know, IDs and all those kinds of. What do you have again in place just to make sure that you're supporting students?
I mean, it is unfortunate where we do see instances of education and particularly schools being used as catalysts for people to then start raising their points. I think we've always tried to implore communities to make sure that they use other methods. I mean, this is a critical time in the life of these learners. They've spent 12 years in school. This is the final hurdle, and for communities to now use this as a bargaining tool is unfortunate, but we have seen that in the past. And from the side of the department, we have made sure that we've gone out to communities and we've implored communities to try and make sure that where they do have issues, they take those issues to the doorsteps of the people that can solve their challenges. Remember, schools are not the places where people will find resolutions to their problems. And we've always tried to encourage people to take their issues to the doorstep of the people that really will be able to assist them. And this is a critical time for the learners. I think John mentioned a very critical point around the people that have been rallying with schools, the parents, the pastors, and the communities at large. You know, and education is a societal issue.
Again, it's again, a collective effort. And I think for you, John, I mean, we know as well that outside of the academic preparedness, we also need to think about the psychological and mental strengthening that we need to sort of employ, at least hope our students have. We know there are lots of suicides when it comes to students receiving results. Again, what have you done to prepare students for the outcome of these exams?
We spoke with different schools, spoke with different learners, we spoke with the Department of Education, which is a very important thing. We have agreed that this year there's no newspaper or media house that will publish learners' results in different media houses. So I think that thing of suicide will decrease. Also, we're saying it's not the last time, there is also a second chance. If you fail, that doesn't mean that is the end of the world. You can still make it. Most of us, we failed, but today we are here, we are, because of we learn from our own different failures.
Well, hey, you can hear his expressions. We're trying to motivate you. We're trying to inspire you. We're saying you as a young person, we know that this is crunch time for you, but I think it's also very important for you to understand the fact that, you know, regardless of how this thing works out, you're going to be okay, right? And I think maybe just a word of inspiration from you there, Terence, around, you know, there's a lot of anxiety for students. But what's English today? I'm just trying to figure out what's going on in their heads. What would you like to say to them?
No, I mean, from the side of the department, is definitely just to say that you have come this far. I mean, that is testament to something. It doesn't mean that you will now fail at this last hurdle. All you need to do is be confident, to make sure that you've applied yourself diligently and continue to make sure that this is obviously the final hurdle for you. And I mean, just take the bat and run with it, and make sure that you cross that finish line in first place.
John, you mentioned you know, you've been through the stage where you've kind of failed a little bit, and you know, maybe your results were not that great. What would you like to say to students currently right now who are also like, yo, I'm so scared of failing? I think just before we go to ad break.
I will just say it all seems impossible until it is done. So from your failures, you can become whatever you want to be. Some people failed maths. Today they are doing applied maths in different universities. I have a friend who's is doing applied maths. So it all depends on you, what you do. I think all our learners must put their effort in their own books, make sure that they pass. And I would also like to thank different people that worked very hard, especially the Minister of Education and the Treasurer General of the Institute, Regine Gavin, because you played a critical role with this program of Remember Your Roots.
Okay, so we're not saying you must fail. We're saying you must put your best foot forward, but should it not work out, you must understand there's always a second chance. We're going to go into an ad break. We'll be back right after this.
Welcome back. You are still watching Expressions, your #1 Youth Current Affairs show. Now, are you ready for the 2018 matric exams? Siyabuzage, will the matrics of 2018 live up to the expectations? Now, I'm joined by Happy Nodada, who's a grade 12 learner from Snawana Secondary School, as well as Mzegezege.
Don't worry.
Ngicela ube attentive tu. Ngicela ube attentive. Sikhuluma indaba eserious. Sikubingelele sikwamukele mfethu.
Yelo bhoni lama SKL selitshela mina ngibe attention. Why I must be attention to you?
Welcome to the show.
To you.
Welcome to the show.
To you.
Welcome, Happy. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
All right, before we get into Mzegezege, I need to speak to Kosas. Kosas, well, some of the comments that are coming through on social media is that you guys are normally just involved when there's hype around matric exams. What happens during the matric exams as well as after? Abandabasha getting the sense that you guys are just here for the hype.
No, people will say different things, but the fact is that we're always on the ground. Each and every challenges that learners are faced with, Congress of South African Students is the one that take that challenge. For an example, now we have learners that are pregnant in Limpopo, 27 learners who are busy dealing with those learners on how are they going to write their own examinations. We are playing our role. We are in different provinces. Where there is a match, we went there. We intervened, say learners must write their exams. Because this examination is not all about me as John Bajege, but it's about the entire country. Remember, these are the future of the
All right, John, hold it there. Happy, do you think, what are the exams about? Are the exams really about you? Are you getting the sense that the exams are about you? Are you ready?
Yes, I think the exams are about you. And one thing about the exams, it's not about passing this time. Passing is no longer enough. You need to pass in such a way that you get an entry at the university. If you pass with a 33% or a 30%, that does not guarantee you a university entry.
Let's talk about how you've been getting ready. How have you been getting ready?
Okay. Mina, I've been studying. Like eskoleni, we've been having extra classes, which are of help. We've been attending camps, which are also helping us to go through the situation of preparing for our examinations too. And futhi, I believe Ugusi, all the things that needed to be done are done. Our teachers too, they have taught us everything. And the Department of Education has contributed
in ensuring that you're ready. I guess into this conversation.
I just want to say congratulations, and I'm so passive already.
All right, I'm going to metrics in Makaya who are right now getting ready for my exams before they get social media.
I want to say to them, now I have to Quebec. So fail to discard. Move to the question that you know, don't jahela to finish. And then this thing of not lulling on time. You must sleep enough, Mr. Yolopo. At the same time, the people that are writing their exam, they must make sure a good time is the important thing, because it's can't answer my question.
Yeah, time is of the essence indeed. Mbugela Lapekai will now catch in with your social media comments. Now, as you might know, which is Hlezi City, of course, do keep it sweet and short. Pumlani says, as far as I've heard, their comments, we will be better this year. There'll be a better pass rate. Surprise says, yes, I think the class of 2018 is ready and has always been ready. They had all the support they needed. Smooth Dube says, South Africa, I strongly feel the class of 2018 is ready. All they need to do is to reflect what they learned in their 12 years of studying. Now, Happy, did you really reflect? Yeah, we Facebook, Mzix. Now it's playing on my screen. Did you reflect on what you've learned this year?
Yes, I have.
And what did you take out of the year?
I think the year 2018 for me, it has been a challenging year. Although I know what I want to do, and what keeps me going is determination. Determination of where you want to see yourself in the future, where you want to see yourself, what your dreams, your goals.
It's all up to you. And of course, she's very smart. Yeah, very smart. And of course, Mbugela Lapekaya, we like to catch up with you, Lapekaya. That's why this week we also have a listen to your expression for this week. Roll it.
Hi, expressions. I don't think Guguti amametriculent were this year already. But however, that is not the end of your storyline, Sabo. They are destined for greater things in life, and that they can only make it through focus, positivity, and working hard. When you put your mind to it.
Wise words there, of course. Saqhubekela phambili with this all-important discussion. Remember to phone a friend to tell a friend that the hottest current affairs show is now showing. This is Expressions.
Welcome back. You're watching Expressions, South Africa's #1 current affairs show, and we're definitely proud, definitely proud. And talking about pride, we're talking about the class of 2018. They're writing. We want them to make us proud, right, guys?
Definitely.
Right. And the poll question that we're asking you, Kochaya, tonight is the matric class of 2018 ready? Will they live up to the expectations? And I think let me start with you, John. And you raised something quite important around students who might be pregnant and, you know, possibly students who might be sick during this time. I think maybe talk to us around what are you guys doing to accommodate those kinds of students?
As Congress of South African Students, we make sure that even if you missed your examination, you'll be able to write the paper that you missed again. For an example, yes, we're having learners that are pregnant. We're also assisting those learners that are pregnant in order to make sure that they write their own examinations, they don't fail. Remember, this year we're having modularization, which means a learner can write 3 3 subjects and write other ones next year. So the Department of Education is working very hard. Congress of South Africans is working very hard. We're working together. He knows we're in this thing together.
Oh, finally, unity as opposed to the mudslinging. Oh, Terence, let's talk around the measures that you put in place just to make sure that the exams are secure and there's no cheating and those kinds of scandals.
Look, I mean, Jackie, thank you. You would appreciate that with an examination that we're administering to just under 800,000 learners. We have so many matric papers that actually go out. And what we've done as a department is make sure that we've improved and strengthened our security measures. So in doing that, what we've done is made sure that we've done a full-scale audit of all the examination centers, number one, as well as all the depots where the examination papers will be kept. So in that, we've just tried to make sure that we obviously just avoid the things that we saw in 2015, where the learners in Vemba had to now then go and rewrite their life sciences paper. We would want to just make sure that we obviously uphold the integrity of the examinations.
Yeah. And I think information is power, right, Simko?
Absolutely.
And I think I just want to rehash it around the fact that students, they can write 3 exams. Right? Just repeat that they can write 3 exams and then next year they can write a further 3.
Yes.
Right. Excellent. I think that's very important information, right, Mko?
Absolutely. And thank you so much for joining us, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Happy all the best to you as well. Mbukeli Lapikaya, as you do know that we asked you a very important question this evening. Now, we asked you, will the class of 2018 be ready? Will you guys live up to our expectations? Let's have a look at the results. Where's our poll results? Well, our poll results coming in. Oh, yes, about 95% of you said yes, and just about 5% of you said no. And of course, not all hope is lost.
Definitely, definitely. I'm sure the viewers are wondering what's going on in studio, because it seems like there's a it's just taking over.
Chaos. I've never seen such chaos on this set.
It's good chaos. It's good chaos, guys. Please, we're wishing you the very, very best. We believe in you as expressions, and we know that you are definitely going to succeed in these exams, right?
Sibonga for joining us this evening once again. Mbukeli Lapikaya. We play out with Umzegezele, of course, who's playing us out. From all of us, we wish you a spectacular evening going forward.
What chaos?
I'm a performer.
Thunder.